Welcome everyone to the Dirty Air Racing Experience live here at AutoClub Speedway, where wide lanes thrive, high speeds, and worn out asphalt are going to put these drivers to the test out here from the very first lap. 105 laps on deck, and this one is going to be all about managing that dirty air, the tires, and the timing on those passes as well. Stage break coming at about every 20 laps in this race of this 105 lap race. The field will have built-in opportunities to reset, but don't let that fool you. Track position is still king out here at Fontana. Welcome in everybody to Stam Studio Network. My name's Sean Stam, producing, directing, commentating the show, and we appreciate our sponsors and affiliates that will be cycling out there and around the top right side of the screen. Starting out there with Playful Pint, as well as Shockers Graphics, S&M iRacing, Dirty Air Racing Experience, and of course Mittens Liveries if you're looking to get your iRacing paint jobs up in a top tier. Also Wide Open iRacing as well. We race about here every single night. Hosted racing sessions. Most of them are broadcasted. Come out there and have some fun with us, as we have a stacked grid out here tonight. Quite a few drivers out there in practice and in qualifying. You can see out there on the bottom scroll, Rusty Chancey, Bill Daniels, and Aiden Trevette came out there with the top three finish from last week's dare race at Chicagoland. I believe it was, Donnie Beach, Greg Watchsky, and then Patrick Craven, William George, Sean Merriman, Hayden Herman, and Matt Brown rounding at the top 10. It's a new race out here tonight, new track. It'll kind of race the same within those wide lanes, but it's very worn out asphalt. You're going to want to manage that top line if it's what you are going to want to run. Take a little bit of a race information graphic out here tonight. We do have that stage break every 20 laps. There's a 10% power reduction in these trucks tonight, also running at that 38% fuel mark. 4 fast repairs for our drivers, and unlimited tire sets as well. Now, it does kind of bring a tear to my eye out here at Fontana. I wish that they still had this place out here, real life NASCAR. I think that there's plans to turn it into a short track. I'm not sure about all that. We'll have to see about it and what the future does bring, as this, I guess, a very pricey industrial area. Anyways, Damon Gilbert's going to slap it up there on the pole with a 41.419, a flyer of a lap in his Chevy Silverado. Keep an eye on that cat tonight out here. Meow! He was very fast in practice, as was George Bark. Those two drivers were going at it door to door for quite a few laps, getting gaining some experience and maybe gaining some nuances on the field out there. But I say that, got Kevin Nearad out there, only 1/10 of a second behind. Nice qualifying effort for that number 12. That's our 1 out of 3 Ford F-150s, for Kevin. He'll start P3. It's Donna Ryan up there. She'll start P4, I do believe, there. Jamie Shaw of S&M Racing, S&M Motorsports, out of the 84, shown out of Canada. Jamie Shaw, he'll start P5. It'll be Thomas Davis, P6. Dave Scutts out of Dirty Air Racing Experience Racing. He'll start P7, another flyer of a qualifying lap. Look at how close that these drivers are within only their qualifying sessions. We're going to about here throw some clean air, dirty air all up in the front nose of these NASCAR trucks, and it's going to bring a fun race to watch. Got David Moyer out there. He'll start P8. Devin Black, Donnie Beach, Ricky Miles. This is the Rocket Man. He'll start P11 of S&M iRacing. Ashton Raymond, he'll start P12. It's Stephen Gill, John Miles out of S&M Motorsports. James Jepson looks like he's got his Wi-Fi fixed up. He's back out here on the track with us tonight. Nathan Johnson of Hoff Performance. Brad Compton. T.G. Reese starting 18th. Joseph T. Sellinger starting 19th. And we also got Carlos Andrade starting P20. G.J. Allen of Great Lakes Sim Racing. He'll start P21. Kyle Wellman, Michael Simmons, and Chad Ashley, 24 driver grid. But I don't believe 20 through 25th, as well as Josh Shea, has not gridded up here. So it's about a 19 to 20 truck grid out there with us tonight on Stam Studio Network. Once again, I appreciate each and every single one of you joining out here tonight. Make sure you have yourself a drink, add yourself a snack as well. You're not going to want to miss a thing. I've been out at Circuit of the Americas all day for a little bit of GR86 Cup car practice, GT4 qualifying and practice as well. Been a long day out here for me, but it's been a fun day. It's kind of my dream out here, motorsports land, and getting my dream out here, back here with us. A virtual racing action live in the iRacing Simulation Motorsports on for this Dirty Air Racing Experience Truck Series. Tonight we got the trucks here coming at you live from Fontana. That iRacing safety pace truck going to make his way down and into the safety of pit lane. Barney the flagman has that green flag waved loud and proud, ready to go. These drivers ready to go. Dave and Gilbert, George Bark up there through the gearbox heading into one. Damon Gilbert clear to the race lead going into 3 and 4 for the first time tonight here at AutoClub Speedway. George Park still sits P2. Donna Ryan on a move out there. 1 spot gain since the drop of the green. How about Jamie Shaw? How about Devin Black? Shot out of a cannon. Look at Devin Black. He's got Dave Scott out there looking down the inside. Baby blue 75 Silverado looking low. It's not only door-to-door out there, battle between that 7, Devin Black and Dave Scott, middle of your screen, but also still up here 4, 2, and 3 as they'll get tied off turn 2. That's the, I believe that's, am I saying it right? It's Donna up there running. That's a up top road. That's also a driver, very, very nice speed and consistent pace within our qualifying session. George Bark now falls back into P3. Here comes Thomas Davis. Ricky Miles, the Rocket Man's in it as well, hopping on board at the number 5 as he runs up top. There's so much speed. There's so much momentum to gain up in the top line, but not only do you kind of burn on those right side tires as well, but you got to make sure that you got the clean air up and in front of you, because if you don't, you're just going to wash up there way, way, way up top. Looks like Ricky Miles, that's all you see him do, just getting the headline clean air right up and in front of him. Still got battles for the race lead. That's going to be that number 1 truck trying to look low, but Damon Gilbert still able to hold them off. It's now George Bark out there up top, 3 wide going into 3. Sparks flying out that right rear quarter panel. That number 54 is here comes the 84. Nice move for Jamie Shaw. Door, and still door. They'll trade final wrap here out of 4. Jamie Shaw's going to have to regroup and rearm out here. Battles back here for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. It was just 3 wide there out of turn 3. We'll slice it, we'll dice, we'll run it back here and back in 1 and 2. Ricky Miles, once again, a man on the move. There's going to be that number 1 versus number 7, I believe that was. That's not versus Jamie Shaw, actually. Out there at the exit of turn 2, getting tight. It's door quarter clear right now, at least for the number 84. Still got Devin Black, Thomas Davis, and Dave Scott out there. It's side by side. Dave is working that inside line. Clean air all at the front nose of that Dirty Air Racing Experience Chevrolet Silverado. And ladies and gents, you're about to see why we call this league the Dirty Air Racing Experience. We're going to hop on board here with our race leader. And watch this. I mean, you're going to see George Bark out there running 54, the 54, running 2nd position out there. He's actually going to late entrance out there in 1 and 2. There comes all that clean air, just a headlight, but that gives your truck so much more bite out there through the corners. If you're not getting that clean air, I think that we'll be able to tell out there relatively quickly, as we still have, I mean, tenths, hundreds, even thousands of a second separating battles. There's the Rocket Man and the 29 getting involved out there with it. I believe 24, Ashton Raymond involved, excuse me. John Miles does a nice job at avoiding that one. So does James Jepson. Now you might be asking, where is the caution flag? We're actually going to keep running out here until that first stage break at lap 20. If you're just now joining us, we do have stage breaks at every 20 laps of this race. From this 105 lap race here, you see a race replay a little bit late to it. We'll have to re-rack and restack this race replay. You're going to see the Rocket Man out there, number 5, that middle of your screen, that white Chevrolet Silverado. And about here, it's going to be the number 33 out there as well. And it kind of happens out there on the back straightaway. Kind of see what transitions out here and transpires to set this all up. So it was 3 wide going into the corner. That was contact out there with the number 12 of that Advanced Auto Parts. I believe that was for F-150 up there. And then here we're just going to try to, oh, God, we got to get out the forklift out here before we get missed too much more racing action, because it was close quarter combat into the corner. I believe this was next lap by, and then there you see, oh, it is close quarter combat between the two. And try to take one more look here at this, and then we'll get back live into racing action. And I apologize for the reverses there, but just trying to see exactly what does happen. Oh man, 24 is just already there and then gets walloped up there for Ashton. Oh man, that number 9 as well. Holy, what? Who was that? All right, we got to get back live and into it. Unfortunately, 2 trucks involved out there early on, but we will have that stage break out here to re-rack, restack this whole pack in just about 12 laps time. Dave Scott ripping the Larson line up top. Sparks flying out of his right rear quarter panels. We up on board with him. Dave Scott out there still up in 5th position, so he's gained 2 spots since the drop of the green. If you focus your attention real quick and real briefly on the left side of your screen, that's how many spots your favorite driver has gained or lost since the start. Now we have the number 7, Devin Black out there. He was scraping that wall pretty good in turn 3. That allowed George Bark to look down the inside, as well as George. He's now going to set up this nice kind of slingshot move here out of turn 4. Uses the speed, uses the momentum out here. It'll be door to door across the stripe and going into 1. These drivers all still trying to chase Damon Gilbert across the line. You can see the lines are starting to move up this racetrack here just a little bit, and with about, remember, we're only 38% on the fuel tanks here tonight, so we should start to creep here within possible pit stop strategy action. That's here. We're still going side by side between George Bark and Devin Black. George's going to look down the inside line. There goes Devin, right side of your street. And here comes once again in the crosshairs out there, Jamie Shaw. Jamie Shaw, he started this race in 5th position. Whoa, hang on to it. That was Kevin Nearad out there. Kevin, the other driver who almost was walloped up there in our one and only kind of big wreck of this race so far. I say big wreck, but there's only 2 drivers involved. Kevin Nearad, nice start to the race for him. Back there into Jamie Shaw as well out of S&M Motorsports. He's looking low for the race lead. Not able to get that throttle pedal back down as that truck got tight out of 2. No front end rotation. These tires with worn out asphalt, as this AutoClub Speedway is, these tires are already starting to show some pretty big signs of wear. You can see it within the way that these drivers are driving their trucks as well. And as if it were on the money. Whoa, no, driver spinning, and I believe that was the race leader. Damon Gilbert spins off forward, trying to make his way down pit lane. And then there goes Donna out there as well, the number 1. Golly, you gotta let me know down there in YouTube land, because I hope I'm butchering, I guess, 50-50 chance up there. Here we're gonna hop on board and see how the race leader tried to make his way down pit lane, but unfortunately and this is a tough pit lane to get out here to in Fontana. It'll sneak up out there on you. Maybe Damon saw that he was trying to carry a little bit too much speed through it, and just that rear end started to come out there on him. We'll have to hop on board with him. Oh yeah, he's way too deep in there. The tires all gonna lock up out there in a bank and a bonk on that front end. They'll get back up here in it though. Remember, we have 4 faster pairs, unlimited sets of tires as well. Back out here in some more racing strategy calls. George Bark is in, so is Devin Black. There's Thomas Davis, T.G. Reese, all pitting from about up there in the top 5 positions, top 5, 6, 7th, and 8th. There's going to fall back to about there 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th this time by. Let's see, because this is actually a very interesting strategy call. Will we see right side tires? Will we see, okay, we're going to see the right sides. Will we see both the left sides as well? As we still have about 8 more laps to go to that competition caution. 4 tire pit stop out there for George, Devin, and TG, as well as that number 1 truck as well. But you got to feel out there for them. No, that won't be 4 tires. I believe that was only a 2-tire stop for Donna. For Ryan out there at Rocket One Racing, Mini Family Racing. Pit out there from just about the race lead, I believe, worked their way up and back and into 2nd position, and then just now going to cycle everything back down and around. Some drivers trying to save a little bit of fuel, or some drivers have saved some fuel. Some drivers have tried to save a little bit of tire early on in this run, and here we're going to see them try to run here a little bit longer on this strategy call, as this time Jamie Shaw, Dave Scott, John Miles are all down in the pit lane, and this time from the race lead, Kevin Nearad. Oh, they're all looking pretty fast out there. Oh, the 85 goes around Donnie Beach. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. What a save for the 85. It's, did he get a speeding penalty? We'll have to check the radar guns out there heading down to pit lane, but real quick, we're heading down to our pit reporter down there. Yeah, guys, I'm actually down here. I've made my way magically down on pit lane, and I have that 85 coming down there to us, that Aqua Fresh Chevrolet Silverado machine. It's going to be right side tires up and into the air. Only 6 more laps here in this stage. Well, I thought it was going to be right side tire. It will not be right side tires up in the air. Donnie Beach, a fuel-only pit stop, so keep an eye on where he cycles out there, as does the 12 of Kevin Nearide out there. This is going to be an interesting strategy call, depending on where they all cycle out. Back up to you after the booth. Making my way back up here with you. Stephen Gill makes his way down off of pit lane. So does Nathan Johnson, David Moyer, Jamie Shaw as well. So right now it's still down up there in that one truck leading this race, as that's been the cycle out there with them. Only about 6 coming to 5 laps to go this time by before that first stage break. And we're on this battle for the race lead. It's going to be George Bark out there looking low. This is a 10-second pit stop versus 7, so a little bit longer on that pit stop for George Bark, but it's showing a little bit more speed right now. You look low down there out of turn 4, not able to make the pass happen going into 1. Let's see what happens out there going to turn 2. They'll lean on each other. Bark versus Ride. George Bark looks low. He's door. He's quarter and clear. 54 to the race lead. Dana still runs their P2. Thomas Davis, Kevin Nearat, Donnie Beach. Those are those strategy calls out there where there might be just there's no tires out there on them. Let's see if the pit stop. If you see on the bottom right of your screen, that's exactly how many seconds your favorite driver spent on pit lane, is at least showing the top 8 drivers. And you see George Bark, 47.8 total seconds. So that's about, 5 seconds longer. So I would call that a 2-tire pit stop for George Bark. Dana out there continues to run probably on a no-tire pit stop. And then here comes Kevin. Kevin, he spits 48 seconds down on pit lane, so a little bit longer, maybe a little bit more fuel strategy and tire strategy out there as well. Kevin, he looks slow. He's doesn't quite have out there. Who's that running on? That was messing me up. Okay, the 33 TJ Allen still in this race, running right there behind him as well. Keeping his foot there in it as well, trying to get towards this competition. Caution, as here is the storm right there, the hurricane, if you will. There's David Gilbert trying to get his way back up and into the lead. Jamie Shaw is in the meat of the sandwich. We'll look 3 wide and going into 1. Remember, we saw Donnie Beach with that immaculate save out there heading down on pit lane. We'll have to try to take a race replay of that out there once that stage break does fly. As it's a nice battle out there on it, and off of turn number 2, once again, Dave Scott, and that was Damon Gilbert. But Damon Gilbert clears Dave Scott, and Dave's going to run out of speed and momentum on that inside line. He'll try to slice and dice and work something back up here in 3 and 4, as he's got that rear end really full of Devin Black, as well as Donnie Beach trying to close that gap as well. Nice pass as well for Dave Scott. He's going to make his way down to the inside. Still not clear here just yet. It's so much. It's a feat to be beat out here to try to make a pass on this inside line, especially coming on what we should have some relatively older tires on these racing machines up there. Dave Scott, he looks slow, but not going to be able to happen, as now Devin Black is running up top. Devin Black there, dropped back into P7 in at number 7. Damon Gilbert trying to work his way through this pack after drops back into P5 after that pit stop strategy. Coming to about just 2 more laps to go in this stage. George Bark by a 3-second gap over Kevin Nearat and Dana Ryan. Jamie Shaw about 2.5 seconds back from this pack on back. Should be 1 to 2 to go here at the line as far as the stage break goes, and it looks like it's all going to be George Bark out there on the back straightaway. Here comes Kevin, here comes Dana. That's for still 2 and 3. That's a 4/10 of a second now separating Kevin and Dana. So nice run for Kevin out there on this kind of start of the second stint of the race. Battles for the stage points, if you will. Thomas Davis works his way up into 7th. Here comes Donnie Beach, and that would be Devin Black out there for that 7th, 8th, and 9th as George Bark comes across the stripe. That's lap 20. That's going to be our first stage break of the race. That's going to be a first stage winner. Congratulations, driver 54, George Bark. Nearat? He'll come across the stripe, P2, and Dana Ryan, P3. Jamie Shaw, our one and only driver shown not in the United States. They're actually shown out of Canada. Jamie Shaw, P4 on that stage break. He was in the thick of it as well. I mean, going 3 wide out there through the corners, meat of the sandwich. Jamie, he's going to keep it rolling. Damon Gilbert, he's going to run P5. He's sliced dice, work his way back up and into it. And remember, we saw Damon with his issues heading down and onto pit lane. We'll have to take another look at that race replay, as well as... we had one more issue down there coming into the pits. But real quick, before we find that one, here's Damon heading into the pits. This is race replay of it. Okay, well, there's the spoiler alert, I guess you'd call it. One more kind of look out here, and as we hop on board here with them, I believe we saw this one earlier on, just got a little bit too deep down there into pit lane, but remember, he's able to take that fast repair, and it's just a loss of a few seconds down there in the pits, and I think it's been an immaculate job to see Damon already work his way back up and into 5th with as much time and speed that he lost on a green flag pit stop. So pit lane should be open this time by. It'll be interesting to see. Remember, we have unlimited sets of tires and 38% fuel available. So are we going to see any drivers out there come down to pit lane? I would definitely think so, as it's kind of, I think you just have to set yourself up here for this next stage of the race. George Park, we should see him dive out there with him. It would surprise me if he does not. That's exactly what we see. Matter of fact, the whole field with it. 105-lap race, stage breaks at every 20 laps in the race, and no cautions until the final 20 laps. We've had 1 caution so far, 3 different lead changes. This will be 22 out of lap 105, and let's see what the pit stop strategy is this time by. George Bark heading to his second pit box as he qualified second this race. There goes Damon Gilbert, pit box number 1. Right side tires up on all of these NASCAR truck machines. These are not next gens. There, got the 5 lug nuts. I would make the sound effect if I had it in me. It's going to be a tight, close battle out there off of pit lane. George Bark wins the battle off pit lane. Devin Black, P2, Kevin Nearett, P3, Dana Ryan, Jamie Shaw, that's the top 5. There's Damon Gilbert, tied with Jamie Shaw at the line. Dave Scott, Donnie Beach, Thomas Davis, as well as John Miles, the top 10. Checking in on the biggest mover since the drop of the green flag, and yes, things will be a little bit kind of shuffled out here as far as, well, no, everybody's back on the same strategy call out there, so I do take that back, but I don't take back the biggest mover since the drop of the green flag. It'll be Devin Black. Where did he start this race? There you go. He started P9 and already up here in P2. He's got a very vibrant orange truck, and that one's easy for the broadcaster and spotter to see out there at Fontana this week. And what does that sound? Oh, I couldn't quite catch it. Alrighty, we're going to have some familiar faces in some familiar places. Also, newer faces in some newer places on this race restart here. Just really quick, briefly through the field. George Bark, Devin Black, Dana Ryan, Kevin Nearett, Jamie Shaw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damon Gilbert, Dave Scott, Donnie Beach, John Miles, Thomas Davis, Nathan Johnson. That's the top about 11. You also have Stephen Gill, TG Reese still out here racing with us. Joseph T. Sellinger keeping his foot down, so is Brad Compton, as well as James Jepson. He's out here, got his internet connection fixed and able to race out here with us. Unfortunately, Ricky Miles, I'm still showed down in pit lane, so is Carlos Andrade, Ashton Raymond as well. Now we do have the field re-racked, restacked, and ready to go, but I am showing lights still on that iRacing safety pace truck, so we might have one more wave back around this racetrack. We'll have to see Yeah, lights are still on as we hop on board here with Devin Black. And something that you can see as we hop on board this nice driver camera shot is gotta look at the seams on the racetrack. You have the apron, that white line at the very bottom. Seam 1 up there, kind of that first lane is what that defines. Seam 2, second lane up. Seam 3, and then you got that 4th seam out there as well. So that's not necessarily telling you exactly what line to run, but it's kind of a nice visual line to follow, as well as those seams they're not something that you necessarily want to cross out there back when we're back and going to green flag racing. You feel that in the wheel, you feel that in the truck. It can really kind of sometimes set yourself up for some loose or tight conditions, more often than not tight conditions going into the corner. I don't know if it'd be as tight as though, as we have seen dirty air plastered all over the front nose of these dirty air racing experienced truck drivers, and they have done an excellent job at combating that dirty air and presenting some very nice racing battles out here for tonight on Stam Studio Network. Once again, thanks to everybody out here for joining on here on this Saturday night. Moonlight Dancer Nick Goebel joins in out here as well. Thomas Watson saying Miller Lite is flowing. Oh wait, no, this was last week's broadcast. Here's this week's. Here's Moonlight Dancer joins us as well. Welcome in, Chris. As Ricardo Cano. Ricardo, he is saying, enjoying the race and thinking about his tomorrow night at Circuit of the Americas in the Stam Studio Network trucks. That's going to be a fun race to watch out there, so make sure you put that one on your calendar. What a Friday night it's been so far. A couple different lead changes, couple of drivers who we're going to have. We're giving the waiver around here just one more time. George Bark, Devin Black, the field is in their hands going into 3 and 4. And yeah, man, Ricardo Cano in Buenos Aires, Argentina out there coming to you live tomorrow night on Stam Studio Network Truck Series Road Course Racing. Put that one on the calendar, not going to want to miss it. Trucks at Circuit of the Americas. We'll get back going to green flag racing this time by. That's iRacing safety pace truck driver going to dive its way to the safety of pit lane. George Bark, Devin Black, row 1. There you got Dana Ryan and Kevin Near at row 2. Damon Gilbert and Jamie Shaw, row 3. A little bit of checkup here on this race restart as Barney the Flagman throws the green flag. Well, the checkup has all gone away out there. As you can see, that 3rd and 4th row back are really starting to come back out here on this exit of here of turn number 2. There was a little bit of a wobble and really got there for Dana, as that now will set up a 3-wide battle back here into turn 3. They'll run door to door here out of turn 2. Devin Black, George Bark still going at it for the race lead. Here comes Kevin Nearett trying to join this battle. This all sets up. Oh no, the 7 gets spun out there to the exit of 4. Devin Black goes around after contact with George Bark. He's going to he'll keep that truck pointed back and in the right direction, but unfortunately out there for Devin, he's going to have to wait until about 14 to 15 more lap time until that next stage break does fly. Back out to the race lead. Is it still side by side? Here comes Dana. Here comes George. They'll make contact at a 2. Oh man, what a save out there for Dana. George Bark has sparks flying out of his rear end on that back straightaway. Here comes Dave Scott. Dave Scott using that inside line speed, momentum, all of the above. He'll bring Thomas Davis out there with him as well. Then you see the 33 TJ Allen joining this battle out here as well. Not necessarily shown on this lead lap, but he has all sort of authority out there and able to run out there within these top drivers. We saw his speed, we saw his pace out there earlier on. He just needs one more wave around, which he will get this next stage break. What a move for Dave Scott. Where did he come from? Where did he go? Tonight's nickname for Dave, Cotton Eye Joe. Tight, close quarter combat battles out there once again out of 2. Here they come. The race horses are racing it right now. You can see the intensity starting to ramp up here through the roof. That's going to be Donnie Beach looking down the inside, trying to make some positions back that he lost out there on that battle for pit lane. And here we go, battles for the race lead as well. Thomas Davis, I take that back. That was a mistake I made. It shows him as the 33 paint scheme on your screen, but it's actually, oh no, we got a big one. That's actually the number 20 of Davis, as Dave Scott, he goes back out there battling for the race lead out there as well. We'll take a quick race replay with that as once things do start to settle down out there with you. Thomas Davis, he is now clear once again, shoots up the racetrack out of 2, but will he throw the block out here on that back straightaway? Dave Scott, he starts to maybe creep down that inside line, maybe fakes him out there. Dave Scott looks up top. Here comes George Bark, he'll fall back to P4. Kevin Neretz out there. Kevin about has been in this 3rd place throughout this whole race out here tonight. He is continue to keep his foot planted. All right, I'm going to do my best out here. I do believe, yeah, here is the most recent incident. There's that Donnie Beach contact out there with Dana. Dana sends that down to the inside line, and then that really sets up the next incident out there, which was heading up into turn 1. Here's going to be kind of a... You see Dana spin out there, and then contact with the, oh goodness, the 22. And 19, huge heavy contact with the outside safer barrier. We'll take one more look at this race replay before we got to get going back into live racing action out here. There's the first one. Oh, okay. One more look at this incident before we get going back in live racing action out there. There's the first one. Then David Moyer just tries to, I think, miss that spinning cart truck down this inside line. Unfortunately, truck's already there up top. 19, pretty heavy contact. T.G. Reese back there down and into virtual pit lane. Thomas Davis and Dave Scott still the top 2 trucks out here with only 10 laps to go till our next stage break. Dave Scott, he'll try to look low in air. This is out of 3 and 4. Careful on the wash up there, Dave. He has to get out of the grass battle, and that only allows Kevin out there to allow him to set up that slingshot move to the outside line. You see how much speed, how much momentum Dave Scott out there just lost. No worries, though. He'll re-rack him. He'll restack him. It's going to be go time for the driver 75. A slight lift on that throttle pedal, enough to get the front end to rotate out there through the corner, as unfortunately for Dave, he'll fall back into P3, but we see in his speed out here tonight, we know that he's got enough to work his way back up here and into the battles of the race lead. Another drive, how about Brad Compton, driver of the number 6 Ford F-150? Really haven't mentioned his name too much out here tonight, but another driver, where did he come from? Where did he go? How about Brad Compton getting 13 positions since the original drop of the green flag? 32 out of 105, battles for the race lead starting to heat up here even more. Nathan Johnson joins it as well. That Delta Airlines 21, red, white, and blue Chevy Silverado. He's going to fall back up and into the line right there in front of Donnie Beach. Donnie Beach, does he use anything? Does he use this big run of slipstream and draft that he has going in 3 and 4? Do you see the 84 right side of your screen? Jamie Shaw, 1 lap down. Jamie is going to wash up here just a little bit. We'll get Jamie back here on the lead lap after this next stage break, as, golly, Donnie just not able to close that gap, at least within 3 and 4, to Nathan Johnson's rear bumper. We were just on board with that Nathan Johnson machine, and now we're on board with Donnie Beach. He's looking up there at Dave Scott. Dave Scott, he was just out there leading a couple laps. Matter of fact, duking it out, battling for the race lead. Wonder if Dave got his right seated up there, or maybe spent the tires out there too much earlier on in the run. As you can see, he's going to need some, we're all going to need some out there, some little bit more tire rubber out there with them. But no, these drivers going to do it with all with that. It's slide drafting. It's 2 and 3 wide. These runs, this is why you joined out here tonight on Stam Studio Network. This is just a crystal ball right now, a glimpse into the future as what the end of this race will bring. Only about 6 more laps here to go left in the stage, and you can already see just how much this intensity is starting to ramp up through the roof. Thomas Davis still to the lead on that back straightaway. The driver 33 on the doors on that truck, but is actually shown number 20 up there in timing and scorings. 84, Jamie Shaw trying to battle for his right up there and back onto the lead lap. He's worked his way with what would be second position, but he's going to have that lead lap given back to him out here at just about 6 laps here anyways. It's still door to door to door. 1, 2, 3 rows back here at Fontana. Dave Scott, man, oh man, that was 3. That was maybe even looking forward. More sparks will fly. That time of the right rear quarter panel of Kevin out there, driver near at number 12, Advanced Auto Parts Machine. Dave Scott, he continues to hold off that 4th position, but right now, seeing it, Bob Sager starting to fall like a rock. He's keeping his foot planted right back in that throttle pedal, though, as well as I think he knows it's go time. Go time being down, coming on pit lane, and look at this battle between a race leader and Dave Scott. Look at how much distance Dave does an excellent job closing up that distance. Hopefully no speeding penalty for him. That looked to be like he did get that thing slowed and rode down in time. Nice kind of comeback up there for Dave on that pit stop. You also got John Miles, and this time the driver of the number 69 to the Billabong Toyota Tundra machine at S&M Racing. And John Miles, he kind of used a little bit more rear brake bias out there, get that truck slowed, rode back down. That stops on the money. He's going to get right side tires up and into the air. And it's going to be a right side tire only stop. Brad Compton out here, now he is to the race lead. That's Kevin Narrett, Nathan Johnson, Donnie Beach, Stephen Gill, all of these drivers that were battling out there about our top 5th to 10th positions. Lots of them making their way down a pit lane just now. Brad Compton, he's going to stay out maybe 1, maybe 2 more laps, and I really don't hate this strategy. Brad Compton, he's got enough fuel in the tank for those 1 to 2 more laps, as long as he's kind of out there, as long as he's not losing too much time on the Delta as far as its kind of race pace goes on newer to kind of okay worn tires. This could have really big gains out there for driver Brad Compton. Matter of fact, he should make his way down in pit lane. If not, yeah, it is going to be this time by. Started 17th, running in 1st position. About 3 more laps to go, and keep your eye on Brad Compton's strategy throughout the rest of this race as well. Remember, stage breaks every 20 laps. I know I sound like a broken record saying it, but this is really important because Brad, if he fills up enough fuel out there and has more fuel going into the next pit stop, he could actually cycle out down and around throughout this next pit stop if he can save maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 laps of fuel. And trust me, that's not necessarily unheard of within these trucks that have, like we see out here tonight, minus 10% power as well as only 38% fuel. Matter of fact, here's going to be the race for the race lead out there. Brad Compton, and here comes George Bark into turns 1 and 2. So George, he's able to batter. He should be able to clear this battle for position off the race lead, as it's both of these drivers will. Neither of them will have newer tires underneath of them here. Here's Brad Compton. And this is exactly what I mentioned. That's why I don't hate the strategy call, because look at how well that Brad was able to make his way on and off down on pit lane. Brad Compton pits from the race lead. He'll only fall back into P2, 15 spots gained since the drop of the green. Here comes 3rd and 4th. Driver has been leading a bunch of laps out here tonight. Thomas Davis, he'll work down that inside line. Shown 33 on the door, shown 20 in timing and scoring. Only 1 more lap to go this time by in the stage. That Desert Empire mirror and glass Chevrolet Silverado works his way back up into P3. Kevin Narrett, Jamie Shaw. How about Jamie Shaw as well? He fought for it. We saw Jamie fight for his right to party, keep that thing up there within the lead lap of this race, and he did an excellent job out there keeping that thing moving out there to him. It's going to be just barely about a truck length or 2 at the stripe. This time by, it'll be George Bark, driver 54, so far sweeping the stages in this Dirty Air Racing Experience Truck Series hosted event. Looks like we'll go, yeah, okay, there it is. Brad Compton, nice run out there for him out there. He'll finish P2 in the stage. Thomas Davis, P3. Jamie Shaw, Donnie Beach, Kevin Narrett, Dave Scott, Nathan Johnson, John Miles, and Stephen Gill. That's the top 10 out there in stage 2, this Dirty Air Racing Experience Truck Series. You're watching live here on Stan Studio Network. Name's Sean Stan, producing, directing, commentating the show. We'll be right back out here with you. We're going to take a quick break and quick word from one of our sponsors and affiliates. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. welcome back here. Stam Studio Network. You've tuned into the Dirty Air Racing Experience. We're racing the trucks out here tonight at live Fontana. It's AutoClub Speedway. Unfortunately, AutoClub, golly, they're still trying. It's still in the works, or so they say. Got everybody pitting down on pit lane. Should see 4 tires go up on each and every single one of these drivers. And I got to say, I got a special guest up here joining us up in the booth. Actually, I guess I'm joining him down in his truck. Hey, Dave Scott, this is Sean Stam up here in the broadcast booth. Got yourself a copy?
Hey, yeah, how you doing?
Man, Dave, I'm doing great out here. You guys continue to put on a show out here for us on SSN. How about you tonight, though, Dave? How's the truck feeling?
The truck drives really good. Everybody's faster. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Hey, we saw you lead some laps out there up a couple laps ago, Dave. Can you kind of could you feel the huge difference out there between the clean and the dirty air?
I was hoping I was going to pull away, but that wasn't the case. They still came back and ran me down and passed me. So I just know some guys. What I've been noticing is there's guys keeping their tires cooler while everybody else is sprinting their way to the front. And then when we're about 10 laps into the run, or thereabouts, their tires are nice and cold and they're shooting right back up and passing everybody. So there's definitely a tire conservation strategy going on. And then when we're pitting, I see some guys taking no tires and then some guys taking 2. I've been taking 2, hoping to pass the guys taking none. Honestly, the biggest thing is staying in the wind, staying in that draft. I mean, that's what's going to kill you if you lose it.
Gotcha, Dave. Well, hey, we appreciate you having a quick word with us up in the booth and breaking it down there for us. I'm rooting for you, man. Hopefully you can get it back up there in the front row. You've had the speed to do it. It's been fun to watch, Dave.
Yeah, everybody looks like they're racing pretty clean. We got some good guys in here tonight, so yeah, hopefully it looks just as good as what I'm seeing out of my windshield.
Been fun to watch out there, Dave. Pretty clean racing. Best of luck here too. Your rest of your race, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate Dave for. I had to double check out there with him before hopping on, before pulling him up here in the booth. Didn't want to. I don't. You know, I would be locked and loaded out here. I raced with these guys. I believe it was last night. Oh God, where was it? Golly, I guess time flies when you're having fun. It was Kansas, I believe it was, in the truck series, and. As Dave said, it's a lot of clean racing. It's tight racing. It's ethical wheel racing, I think is the vocab word. We've continued to see it race after race after race. S&M Racing, Dirty Air Racing Experience. Make sure you come out there and join us. We'd love to have you. We're racing every single night. Hosted sessions on the iRacing Sim Racing universe. At iRacing Safety Pace Truck down there into the safety of pit lane. Ladies and gentlemen, crank it up on this race restart as George Bank, Jamie Shaw work their way through the gearbox. Puppy back down. George Barks still to the lead, but here comes Jamie Shaw looking low and shot out of a slick shot. Kevin Nearad looks low as well. It's Donna Ryan and Thomas Davis right there behind him. Don't look now. Donnie Beach is a man on a mission. We also still have... Oh, God. There he he is. There's Damon Gilbert. That's 68. Remember how fast that Chevrolet Silverado, all black, a little bit of red, pink numbers, has been out here tonight. He's running in 11th position right now, but he's still got the speed pace to work his way back in up front, and more importantly, the time to do so. It's George Bark. He's looking up top. He's trying to still run up top, hold off that hard charge to the number 12 Advanced Auto Parts for an F-150 NASCAR truck machine. Jamie Shaw, he's looking up top this time. He'll climb the hill in 1 and 2 as Brad Compton looks low. Brad Compton's there in his Ford F-150 machine. 1 out of the 3 racing tonight. 2 running up in the top 4. Here comes Brad. Here comes Jamie. They'll be side by side at a turn 2. Working their way on this back straightaway. It's George Bark still to the race lead. Kevin Neratz still there. Jamie Shaw looking to make something happen. Hopping back on board with Jamie. As you see that number 1, Dana Ryan, look low, low, low. Clean air plastered all the front nose of that Chevrolet Silverado. Brad Compton, he'll fall back into P6. Donnie Beach, he's still sitting 7th as it's now side drafting. They'll bang across the stripe here at AutoClub Fontana. The intensity has ramped up once again. George Bark still continuing to lead lap after lap after lap. George works his way up there back in turn 2. Jamie Shaw, oh, careful boys and girls, getting tight, tight, tight. Thomas Davis tight there in 1 and 2. Oh, sparks flying again. I believe that time by was the 21. No, it was Brad Compton in the wall that time by. I don't think he's got too much damage to worry about on that right side. These trucks, they can take a little beat. They can take a scratch up there, but you don't want to scratch it too much. That right rear of these NASCAR trucks, very, very aerodynamically sensitive area, as you're going to want to get that right rear out there. You see how skewed out these trucks still are here. NASCAR has done some things as far as within the rule book to try and avoid how much skew that these drivers and teams are putting within these trucks. Nope, no sirree, Bobcat tail. We're making it all happen out here tonight. Excellent setups, excellent racecraft. Here you see still, this time it was 3 wide, settles back down into 2 that time. Brad Compton still doing everything that he says can't be done. Look at Donnie Beach, he's still stalking, he's still creeping, working his way up into the front 5 as we have Jamie Shaw. Look low, he's clear. George Bark probably pitting this time by. Exactly what we see, George Bark on the money, as is driver 68, Damon Gilbert, right there behind him. These 2 drivers have been kind of the force to be reckoned with out here tonight. You see George Bark leading 21 laps. Damon Gilbert led 10 laps, what should have been way, way more after an unfortunate self-made mistake for Damon heading down on pit lane just about 2 sections ago. Back out here to the race lead as Jamie Shaw still throws a little bit of a block out there going to 3 and 4. Brad Compton, he's still there. Dana Ryan works their way back up into P3. Looks for drivers pitting this time by, and it will be our one and only Canadian driver. Jamie Shaw down there is with Dana Ryan. That'll be a 3-driver pit stop. James Jepson is in as well. I know that James Jepson has done quite a few things out there back and behind the scenes to get his Wi-Fi back and ready to race with us out there with us. James, welcome back to the racetrack. He'll drop back into P14 with this pit stop strategy, but he'll cycle his way back down and around the tan. Brad Compton now to the race lead. Kevin Neratz P2. Thomas Davis. Keep an eye on that cat. That number 33 Chevrolet Silverado, but shown as 20. He's out there running P3, and the driver that we were just talking with, it's Dave Scott up to P4. Don't look now. First time that we've really seen Carlos Andrade up here running the top 5. 25 is now up and now cycles his way back up into P3. Nice run for Carlos and that Robin Hood Toyota Tundra, kind of Corey Heim inspired paint team there. Brad Compton, Kevin Neratz, T.G. Reese all down on pit lane. Still 8 more laps to go. And remember what I mentioned out there with Brad Compton last time he pit off. Last time he made his pit stop, he had a little bit more fuel in that tank than these drivers. Excuse me, he ran it a little bit more laps on the tank. So Brad could be setting himself out here to go long here once again. I apologize. I was looking over there at timing and scorings, but I would appreciate if somebody could let me know if they saw Brad just take 2 tires or if it was 4, because he did spend 9.5 seconds on a pit lane. So I believe that's going to be a 2-tire pit stop compared to, say, a driver like George Bark, a no-tire pit stop, only spending 6 seconds down on pit lane. This is where everything, and stick with me, it's going to cycle out to all right here. Remember, we're running 38% fuel, stage brakes at every 20 laps out of this 105-lap race. So this all of these drivers still have to pit, and it's when you make your stop that will determine how much tire that you're going to have on the longer run, how much fuel you'll have as well. Oh no, Donnie Beach, contact out there with that. Well, I believe that was the 19. Looks like it was either Donnie or 19 trying to make their way down pit lane. I believe it was Donnie. That could have been big. That could have been huge for both drivers, both him and TG Reese. Thankfully so out there, and what a save, what cat-like reflexes out there it was for Donnie. Let's see if I can cue this one up down there in the YouTube land. All right, so it's going to be a whole one lap out there with him. Let's hang on board. Let's hop on board with Donnie Beach. He's got that driver of the 25 right there, right up in front of him. It's Carlos Andrade. He's running a little bit longer pit stop cycle this time by, as well as I do believe. Carlos looks like he's active out there, YouTube land, Facebook, and Discord. What's it say? God, it's right there on the nose. ATC Racing out there for Carlos Andrade, still running up their P2. And then here, as we hop on board with our live driver camera shot, there's the, okay, well, real quick, here's the contact out there for Donnie. Oh, man, I think he was maybe just trying to set up low to come down pit lane that time, and looked like the 19 TG already there. All right, so John Miles is in. Ashton Raymond is in. As far as things cycling out goes, Dave Scott still to the race lead as we take a look at last pit stop lap between our top 8 drivers. We've seen some drivers pit lap 51, 52, 53, but still our top 8 still have yet to pit, except for George Barknow and Damon Gilbert. That graphic will update then. So it's Dave Scott clear to the race lead. He's doing exactly what my strategy was out here. It had to have been. Yeah, it was last night that I was racing out there with him at Kansas, running just a little bit longer out there than the field, but he'll be able to go longer if so desired this next stop by. Carlos Andrade, he's in. If he cycles this way out there into this top 5 and even 10 positions, that would be a very nice pit stop cycle for Carlos, but unfortunately looks like he's going to go there just a little bit too deep in his pit box, have to find neutral, back and into reverse out there. I don't believe I saw tires, but with only 4 more laps to go in the stage, it's starting to get out here to the nitty gritty, and as if it were on the money. It's going to be Dave Scott this time by. Cool, calm, and collected, not pushing things too terribly hard. No lockups, no smokes out there of the tires. But that's exactly what you want here as the race leader, and just coming out here within these last couple of laps to go in the stage. Just get me back home, get me back and fueled up and back ready to back out there and go try and hound him again. We should not see any tires out there on Dave, but it's been interesting. Some drivers have actually, at least when it is go time, we've seen a couple drivers take right sides, and then the next stop when everybody pits, if it is just only a couple laps on this tank, some drivers we've actually seen take left side tires on the stage breaks. So they're trying to kind of slingshot and work their way up as far as strategy goes, just as much as possible out there. Dave Scott, he's going to work his way and try and close that gap up there to the drivers up there in front of him. After he's now made his pit stop, he runs now P8 back out here to the battles on the racetrack. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bart, Gilbert, Shaw. There's Brad Compton. He's back up in there as well. Kevin at Nerat. We've seen Kevin out there battles for top 5 to top 3 throughout the whole night. That Ford F-150 continues to impress. Checking in on YouTube land with only about 2 more laps to go on the stage. Moonlight Venture saying this was at 50 laps to go. Keep it going, drivers. Ricardo Cano, hopefully you're still out there joining, as is Ted. Damon Gilbert, remember, led our race leader earlier on in this race, led about 10 laps out there. Damon Gilbert, he's worked his way up into that 3rd position as it looks to be 3 wide. These drivers going to settle things back down to 2 wide on the back straightaway. And here comes 84. That's what you even call it, mint green Red Bull racing machine. Working that Larson line, working way up top, if not the middle line. It's going to be top of 3, though, as JV is still down, Dave and Kevin is down there, still to the inside, as was Damon. I think combined all of their 3 names into one. Jamie, Kevin, Damon still going at it. That's going to be that Kevin Nearant, and they're still looking on the inside. A huge lift, and talk about tire life and and how much these tires wear. I mean, that's exactly what can happen out there through the corners. Imagine if that's for the race lead and you're out there side by side as we see the battle for the race lead side by side right now for 3 and 4. I believe this will be to our end of the stage break. Lap 60 this time by Brad Compton. He works it over and over on the back straightaway. Door quarter clear through 3 and 4. Brad Compton, your stage 3 winner. Taking away the sweeping of the stage. He's going to take away George Bark's broom, unfortunately for George. One stage 1, one stage 2, but no longer so. It'll be Brad Compton out of there and timing and scoring. So driver number 6 in our, there we go, NRA Museum Ford F-150. Congrats on the stage win out there, Brad. George Hill finished B2 this stage as Dana Ryan, Kevin Nerat, Jamie Shaw. That's the top 5. Damon Gilbert, Donnie Beach. Keep an eye on these fast drivers. As well as Dave Scott. That's the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Carlos Andrade, he's back into 9th position after making some strategy happen there as well. Gigi Reese, James Jepson, John Miles. It'll be Joseph T. Sellinger the 3rd. Ricky Miles, Stephen Gill, Ashton Raymond, and Thomas Davis. Also drivers who we have seen lead quite a few laps. Thomas Davis looking to get his lap back. As I gotta make my way down there into pit lane, I got the whole field coming to me. Oh my goodness, the whole field is coming to me on a closed pit lane. I'm sure that they'll clear everybody's black flags, but imagine if these black flags were not cleared. We'd have every single driver, except for Thomas Davis, I think, who would, matter of fact, be the only one back on the lead lap. So that's okay, no harm, no foul there. All these drivers in, and let's see who wins the battle off the race off pit lane. It's going to be tight out there between, I think, George Bark. George, he should have the race off pit lane, but it's going to be tight out there with Brad Compton. Brad Compton out there about that 13th position of 13th pit box on back, and here they come. It's going to be 4-tire pit stop on all of these drivers. Oh, well, okay. George Bark clear to the race lead by about a half of a second over Dana Ryan. Stephen Gill, nice pit stop, although this is that strategy I was mentioning. Maybe we saw... Oh, goodness. I'm going to have to rewind this. We're going to have to see exactly what this what strategy call Steven is in on here, because remember, we did see a couple of drivers in the race from last night get a little bit of a little different race strategy. No tire pit stop for Stephen Gill. Driver 23 shown as the 05 on your screen, but it will be 23 on live timing and scorings. That Hurst Chevrolet Silverado, keep an eye on that cat on this race restart, as tires do mean a lot out here. Maybe he got 4 on that little quick little splash and dash out there before we got going back into... Well, when we went green flag racing, and then now we're back under caution flags. It's still George Bark to the race lead, as what happened on Brad Compton's pit stop. He spent 43 seconds down on pit lane. My goodness gracious. I mean, we've seen drivers spend 5 seconds, and then at max maybe 15, 16 seconds. Golly, I wish I had Brad Compton on the comms out there coming into the stage break with the race lead. And unfortunately now he'd fall back into 15th. I'm sure it is really something on the strategy within, once again, this negative 10% power, excuse me, minus 10% power and 38% fuel on these trucks. That really does set up the strategy call out there, and it might catch you off guard out there depending on what some drivers are willing and able to run. All right. Make sure you got yourself that drink, got yourself a snack, as we are continuing to work our way through this Dirty Air Racing experience. Truck race out here tonight from Fontana. We once again I appreciate each and every single one of you down there on in YouTube land, as well as our sponsors and affiliates up there in the top right of the screen. Continue to cycle their way back down and around them. It's S&M Racing, as well as Dirty Air Experience. If you're looking to race out here with us, it's every night, I do believe, on hosted sessions at, what is it, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time that the races get the green flag, as well as Mittens Liveries. You got Mitch Crowther out there on Discord land if you're looking to get your iRacing paint scheme designed just right, as well as Wide Open iRacing and the Playful Pint Sports Bar of Auburndale, Florida. the best burgers in town, the best drinks in town as well. Ladies and gents, here we go. This time by, it's going to be George Barker, Dana Ryan, Stephen Gill, Jamie Shaw, Damon Gilbert, and Donnie Beach. That's the front three rows. We're about halfway down out of this race, halfway to go. George Barker, let's see what he has out there for him with the inside line, as it's once again clear by about a truck length or two. But don't look now, Stephen Gill, remember, driver inside line, red, white, and black Chevy Silverado. He is on older tires. This is the tire differential right here. You can see Damon Gilbert trying to work his way back and around. He knows that he's got to make this happen relatively earlier on. Does not want to be caught back and behind those older tires. Damon Gilbert now clear up there, and that's the battle for third and fourth on your screen as you see Jamie Shaw fight for his right in that final driver interview position. Donnie Beach with an immaculate save once, twice, thrice out here tonight. Donnie Beach still works up there. Matter of fact, he has got that top 5 position. George Barker, Dana Ryan going at it. Dana started to work the side draft out there going into the corners, but not able to set it right back and on up. Matter of fact, George Barker still clear by this time 2 to 3 truck lengths, backing out of turn number 2. Jamie Shaw, he's still right there with him. Donnie Beach works his way up one more spot. He's up there into P4 now. Damon Gilbert looks low. He'll fake him out there, goes right back in up top. Looks to set up the corner in here through 3 and 4. Stephen Gill starting to fall. Sing it, Bob Seger. Like a rock. He's out there 6th and 7th as Dave Scott starts to look low. Brad Compton, keep an eye on that cat tonight as well. He works his way into the race lead. Stage 3 race winner by just a hair of his chin. Brad Compton looking low. He's going to have older tires up top, and he's going to have his newer, that'd be Ricky Miles up top out there. A little bit of a blinky for the Rocket Man. He's right back up in it. And how about the Rocket Man tonight? Ricky Miles, we have seen this time and time again. He'll continue to slice. He'll continue to dice, working his way throughout this race and continues to do it methodically. Now up and into P9. Top 10 for the Rocket Man. Oh, he's scraping the ball on 3 and 4. Getting right back off of it. Here comes John Miles. It's Miles versus Miles at a turn 4, and John Miles is going to use all that momentum up there out of 4. Now, we heard from our live driver interview, Dave Scott up there a couple cautions ago, that really, yes, the dirty air does make quite a bit of a difference, but it's also having that draft. It's having that slipstream up there on the back straightaway. Who's going to have the clean air as they lean on each other out of 2. George Bark, Jamie Shaw. Jamie once again tries the inside. The house is a rockin'. Don't bother knocking. Come on in. Jamie tried to come on in, but the house was not rocking. George Bark was still there. Donnie Beach, Dana Ryan, Damon Gilbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is an immaculate race out here up in the front. Matter of fact, throughout the whole pack, 1 to 2 tenths of a second separating each and every single one of our drivers. What clean racing it has been here tonight. What hard and ethical wheel it has been. George Bark still continues to lead. He's won the first 1-2 stages, and then it was Brad Compton who backed last stage with only about 13 more laps to go until our next stage break, and then that would be it. We have a little bit of a sprint of a to the finish starting to set itself up here as George Barkey continues to run that outside, but here comes Dana down there running low. How about that number 1 truck up there, qualified P4 of the race out there, running P3 right now, gonna have their popcorn bucket out there as we still see door-to-door battles for the race lead. Jamie Shaw shucks it in there, but unfortunately not clear enough. As you see, George Bark work that speed, work all that momentum. Matter of fact, Jamie Shaw lost so much speed, lost so much momentum, that here comes Ryan. It's Ryan time, looking low. Their door, their quarter, they're clear. Here's George Bark out there, still clear to the race lead, but how long has been, oh my goodness gracious, shot out of a cannon once again out of 4. Damon Gilbert is in pits this time by. That's the only driver this time by. As you see a little bit of a block out there shown for Jamie Shaw and Donna Ryan out there between the drivers for 2nd and 3rd. Brad Compton still out there creeping his way up in 4th position. Donnie Beach still sitting there as well. Dave Scott, who led a couple laps up there earlier on, he'll fall back to P6, but he's still rocking and rolling out here tonight as TG Reese. TG driver number 19. It was once, it was twice, it was thrice. That thing was slideways out here tonight. Immaculate saves back and behind the wheel. TG keeping it rocking, keeping it rolling. As this time by George Bart, JB Shaw down in pit lane. That leaves Dana Ryan and Brad Compton out there for 1, 2, and 3. Donnie Beach, Dave Scott, and TG Reese. I do apologize out there for Dana. I can't. Oh, good. Yeah, back within the driver intros of the race. We'll get back out there and into it because goodness gracious, I just wanted you to put it behind me. Dana Ryan, Brad Compton, Donnie Beach, 1, 2, 3. Dave Scott, he's still there. 70 out of 105, 10 laps to go until I believe our second to final stage break. Within these stage breaks out here at every 30 laps, actually 20 laps, that actually would allow a stage 100 break as well, setting up, yeah, as I said a couple laps ago, a huge sprint to the finish. TG Reese as is Donna Ryan this time by. That allows Brad Compton. Remember, Brad Compton, that's another one of those drivers who's really running the kind of longer run strategy out there tonight. Brad Compton, Donnie Beach, Dave Scott run 1, 2, 3 as we see what the strategy call outs here is for TG. Right side tires up and into the air. He's going to put them on like he does just care, as well as left side tires as well. So keep an eye on how this strategy call out there all represents it and falls out there in TG's hands. With 9 laps to go in the stage, I really don't hate that call because there is enough time to make both side tires happen. There is quite the bit of difference out there with it. Oh, Kevin near out there, a little bit low, excuse me, coming down on pit lane. Maybe a little bit of a slide out there in it is, golly, I'm gonna have to try to find this race replay really quick. Oh man, I don't think it's a slide there out of 4, but it's just a kind of an early entrance, I guess, there into it. And you have to be careful out there with an early pit entrance like that because right now you are trying to you're trying to minimize your time spent on and off down on pit lane, as well as not even on pit lane, but as well as the entrance and exit and the pit lane entrance and exit into your box. So that might be a killer out there for just a slight bit for Brad Compton, but he will get back on the racetrack out there in P13 just now, right and off on the back straightaway. Goodness gracious, back straightaway. You knew that would be a tongue twister. Here goes the battle for the race lead. Donnie Beach, Dave Scott, and Ashton Raymond. These drivers all the top 7 to 8 drivers last pitting on lap 60. So right now we're seeing kind of these long run drivers continue to stay on the racetrack. 73, so just about 7 more laps here within this stage, if not 8. Dave Scott started to reel in on that battle for the race lead, and I believe we actually have a graphic on the last lap history between our 2 front race leaders. The last 5 laps by. Remember, we heard Dave Scott talk about not putting too much tire temps and tire pressures within your new Goodyear Racing Eagles out there earlier up and on your run, and I think we're really starting to see Dave right now come to life. That driver 75, you can see faster lap 70 by 0.2 of a second. Also faster 73 by also about 0.2 of a second. Lost a little bit up there, 71, 72, but gained it right there all back and on to him. Dave Scott looks like he'll be coming down pit lane this time. No, excuse me, he's not coming down pit lane this time by, but he's going to get a little bit closer out there to it as Ashton Raymond, will come down pit lane. So will Thomas Davis. Thomas Davis, he restarted this sector of the race in, I thought, 20th position. Comes down on pit lane, 6th place this time by. John Miles, Ricky Miles are also in as well. So coming into pit lane, there you see James Jepson, I do believe, on the right side of your screen, and then there you see passing us at what looks to be Mach 2. Well, excuse me, that's Donnie Beach, and now Dave Scott down pit lane, so is Stephen Gill. This is not necessarily money stop action here just yet, but I mean, I think every little sign, every tiny little bit, so whether you can gain me a little bit here, gain me a little bit there, just don't lose me a little bit here, don't lose me a little bit there. It'll be door to door going into pit lane between Donnie Beach and Dave Scott. These were the drivers duking it out, battling for the race lead out there before after George Park and Dana Ryan. Damon Gilbert as well pitted from their battles for the race lead. It's going to be a quick splash, going to be a quick dash out there for Dave Scott, as is Donnie Beach, Stephen Gill out there as well. Matter of fact, it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop for Stephen Gill, but I'll tell you what, it makes me stumble over my own words just trying to talk about it there. As well, that was the battle for the race lead. Dana Ryan makes their way back and around Dave Scott, George Park as well. For Stephen Gill to make that strategy call happen, remember he stayed out on old tires. He just took his four tires right there. He's only going to fall back to about 10th position. So that strategy, I think it worked there just a little bit. It worked better than I was necessarily expecting. Dana Ryan to the race lead. Led only 1 lap here so far, but that truck is starting to come to life. One of our fastest drivers within practice sessions before this race. Our Rocket 1 Racing, Biddy Family Racing as well. Dana to the race lead. George Park after winning stage 1, stage 2. He's looking low. He's going to have a nice run and a half out here if he's able to get his foot planted on the throttle pedal. He's going to get back on that throttle pedal, but it looks like Damon Gilbert starting to close that gap right there behind him as well. The slipstream, the draft, the dirty air. It's all simulated here on iRacing Simulation Motorsports, but you know what else is? It's the side draft that's also simulated. You start to get a little bit of side by side on your side. You get door to door on your side. You get side by side with the driver. Seriously, that creates not only such a huge hole poked into the air for the driver who's running, whoever it is running right there behind you, but that also it feels like a parachute back and behind the wheel. It'll drag you back and around so much with only 28 laps to go. I believe 2 more stage breaks in our hands. This is going to get pretty wild as far as race calls go, as far as strategy calls go. Dana Ryan, I'm butchering it either way, 50-50 chance. George Park and Damon Gilbert, 1, 2, 3. Brad Compton and Jamie Shaw run 4th and 5th. Dave Scott, a nice race it's been out here for Dave tonight. He's running P6, as same story goes for Donnie Beach, just outside of turn number 4. Putting just 27, call it 26 more laps in the book. Donnie Beach, here he comes into turn 1. Kevin Nearant, race has been out there for him as well, but unfortunately, just a little bit longer spent on pit lane last time by for Kevin. Actually, I take that back. It was only 9.6 seconds out there, but they'll fall back into about 8th position. Another nice close quarter combat battle out there, but not only for the race lead, as it's still Donna Ryan, George Park, Damon Gilbert, but this is right now you're looking at Stephen Gill, Ashton Raymond, and John Miles. Ricky Miles is still kind of the same camera shot as well, right there back and behind him. And this goes to what I was trying to say a couple laps ago, and we still have battles all over the racetrack. And out here, this is going to be our battles. We're going to slow them and blow them all down. This is lap 80 of the race. This is our second to final stage break. This time it's going to belong to the driver, Dana Ryan. Dana Ryan. George, he started to close that gap out there on the race lead, but not able to make it happen. 54, he'll finish this stage P2. It's Damon Gilbert, P3. Brad Compton, P4. Jamie Shaw, that'll be the top 5. Remember, Jamie Shaw, our one and only driver shown out of up and in Canada of S&M Motorsports. We have seen him slice. We have seen him dice. We have seen him work that Red Bull Racing Chevrolet Silverado machine. I want that flavor, whatever it is, that mint green machine. We've seen him do a nice job at keeping that top 5 position, which is exactly where he started this race. Should see everybody come downtown out here on pit lane. Dana Ryan in, George Park, Damon Gilbert. Matter of fact, the whole field coming to us. I gotta make my way down there on pit lane. All right, I sprinted down here on pit lane. I got Dana Ryan, George Park, the whole field coming to me. Let's see what happens as far as pit stops and strategies go. There you see that number 6 earlier down in his pit box is Brad Compton. Going to be right side tires going up on the number 6, as well as here comes Dana down into the box. We'll see a right side tire. It should definitely be right sides, if not all sides. Right side's going up within the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Left side tires up there as well. You see the invisible pit crews going to work, putting on 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles on each and every single one of these trucks. It's going to be George Bark just by a 1/10 of a second to the lead. Takes it back away from Dana Ryan. It's going to be Brad Compton, P3, Damon Gilbert, Dave Scott. How about Jamie Shaw, Carlos Andrade, Donnie Beach? It's Kevin Nearett and John Miles. That's the top 10. So we've gone through the field, we've talked about some drivers, but let's do something a little bit more special this time, Vi. Let's go in depth on some driver profiles. Starting out there with our race leader, George Bark. George Bark comes into this race with 3,400 oval iRating. And if you are kind of newer out here to the iRacing simulation universe, basically what iRacing means, iRating means is we have all sorts of different racing. We have hosted racing, which is where you can hop in the same race with your friends, or we got what's called official racing, and where that's where your docked points if you finish kind of with what would be kind of below your car number. That doesn't count out here tonight, so don't worry about that. But anyways, official racing, that is what makes up your oval iRating up there. And George Bark coming into this race, 3,400. It took me well over every single little bit of 2 to 3 years to make my way even something to where near George Bark is running 3,400. Then you got Dana Ryan out there, 1,740. Now, although it's about half as what George Bark's is, that doesn't say anything about the racecraft and the speed that the number 1 has had. And a couple of these drivers we have actually seen they just don't like official racing. It's not only do you kind of get within some kind of a-holes, I guess, if you will, because you can't get in a race with your friends unless you have that kind of exact same driver oval iRating as well. So we got some kind of differing, not only race strategies, but as well as a different kind of what drivers like to do out there as far as, I guess, within their own racing time, whether official racing, whether hosted racing like we're doing out here tonight, or just racing out there with their friends. Damon Gilbert, driver 4,100 oval iRating. Once again, that doesn't necessarily mean all that much, but it is a driver who I would keep an eyeball on, as they definitely have worked years to make that, to get that iRating where it is. Donnie Beach, and also another nice driver with some relatively nice iRating, nice experience back and behind the wheel. Donnie Beach, 2,300 oval IR. Back out here into racing, we are about 18 more laps away from our final stage break, and then that will set up a 5-lap sprint to the finish. But before we go there, excuse me, 24 laps to go. George Bark, Dana Ryan, Damon Gilbert, and Brad Compton. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drivers will run door to door here, going in 1. Here comes out of turn number 2. George Bark clear to the race lead, but here comes Damon Gilbert. Damon Gilbert's going to start to look side by side out there with Dana Ryan. Brad Compton, he's out there as well, side by side. Now clear between that door to door battle between Jamie Shaw and Dave Scott. It's still going side by side for the race lead, but George Bark, he has that inside line. Shorter way around the racetrack. He'll be quarter clear, this time out of 4. Bark to the lead once more, but Dana Ryan and Damon Gilbert having something to say about it. 23 coming to 22 laps to go, go, go. Careful on that dirty air, and there you see well, that's kind of a blessing in disguise out there for Dana Ryan, that the 54 of George Bark goes and blocks the inside line of that would have been the 68. 68, Damon Gilbert, he's worked his way back up within the top 3 running positions after Damon led laps earlier here in this race. Damon Gilbert, he's looking to make this short run speed happen out of a driver who we have seen so much long run pace. Brad Compton, he looks slow. He's going to get a little bit tight there out of 4. Brad Compton, he has to get out of the gas, but a little bit more steering wheel well into it. Ashton Raymond, Dave Scott, Thomas Davis. Here comes Donnie Beach, Kevin Narrett, and Carlos Andrade. They're starting to get up here in this battle as well. Oh no, contact going to the corner. Jamie Shaw, he has contact out there. It's gone around. Ricky Miles, he's gonna have some heavy damage on the front nose of his Rocket Man number 5 Chevrolet Silverado. Jamie Shaw beat a bang and contact into one. Remember, now that we are within 20 laps to go, this is now cautions will fly. Going to see really what happened out there going in within one. Jamie Shaw, he was on that inside line, and I believe that was it the 24? I believe it was. Ashton Raymond just started to maybe get a little bit, either got tight or started to look up top, and then there was just unfortunately nothing that he just could have done out there from that point on. Things will happen quick out here in the Dirty Air Racing Experience Truck Series out there. Golly. And there's the big old wallet for the 12 and the 24 out there out of turn 2. Or excuse me, going into 1. Going to hop on board here with Jamie Shaw. Not a lot that you can see, but... He rapid on the downshifts. He wanted to get that thing done and over with and back it down and pit lane, get it fixed up and ready to go. So we're going to take another look at this going in 1 and 2. So here you start to see, look at, I mean, this, you got Damon Gilbert looking, he starts to move up the racetrack, and maybe the 84 follows, or maybe the 24 just slightly comes down just a little bit for Ashton, but I mean, I think it's two drivers just kind of, I'd tally that one up just as a racing incident, as well as, talk about a racing incident, a nice, immaculate avoidance out there for most of these drivers. Unfortunately, Ricky Miles, that was another driver, nowhere to go. We'll hop on board here with Ricky this time and see what he saw. Okay, we'll hop on board with Ricky this time and see what he saw. Oh, oh man, Ashton got a pinball off that outside wall. Came right there in front of Ricky. He's going to have to get that thing fixed back up. And then one more look here at it before we get back into live racing action. Oh, man, there's the contact, and that's probably our best look at it. We're going to rewind it one more time out there because in the end, we'll slow it down out there for you. Just barely the slightest bit of contact. Remember, you're trying to set up yourself to side draft each one of these drivers to about an inch to a centimeter apart out there with you. And, man, things, once again, they happen quick out there. Oh, no, Donnie Beach, a little bit of contact. He'll go around. Or no, Donnie, he'll keep it straight. All right, as far as strategy goes, all right, we are on lap 87 out of a 105-lap race. Strategy goes a little bit something like this, and I'll make it easy for you because strategy sometimes gets me on my head out there as well. Every single driver, last pit on lap 86, and oh my days. I'm actually showing the top 8. They spent 9 seconds down on pit lane, and then from that point on you have James Jetson who spent 10 seconds, and then Brad Compton might have 4 Goodyear Eagles out there underneath of him, a 14-second stop. Matter of fact, maybe we can cut down that there real quick. Glance real quick. I believe we saw this earlier, but I think it's going to be right side tires and left side tires up there on it. So that is a slower pit stop, but now Brad, he'll have to restart up there in quite a few spots back. Matter of fact, the 5th row back in the 10th. 105 lap race on our hands out here tonight on Stam Studio Network. We're coming to lap 89 out of those 105. We should have also a stage break in at lap 100. Yes, it is every 20 laps. So that's going to be, that'll be the money stop out there. But I think we're pretty much done as far as, well, I don't think we're done as far as 4-tire pit stop goes, as that will give you one more chance out there to try to dial in your truck and get that thing ready to go. These drivers, they're ready to go. It's Dana Ryan, Donnie Beach, George Bark, Damon Gilbert, Stephen Gill, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Thomas Davis. He's up there up top, that third row back. The start's in Dana Rain's hands out there as we'll get going. Green flag racing to that Geico restart zone. Only 18 more laps to go. And a nice restart out there from about that second row. 54, George Park, as well as 68, Damon Gilbert. Men on a mission here on this race restart as Dana Rain and Donnie Beach lead them in 1 and 2. It's side by side for 1, 2, 3 rows back. Oh, you're going to start to see Thomas Davis look down the inside. He's going to work way up top out there. Not able to make that inside line happen. Washes up the racetrack. Jamie Shaw, he's going to lose quite a few positions out here as well. You know who's going to gain a few? It's Brad Compton, the man on a move. Drivers fanning out here in 3 and 4 as we make our way back up and into speed. Damon Gilbert working that outside line. 68, all black, pink numbers on the side. Damon Gilbert, look out, play the Jaws music, Donnie Beach. Gilbert up and into P2. Dana Rain, fallback sprint P3. Thomas Davis, Dave Scott. Oh man, a hurricane, a bruise. Carlos Andrade, contact, starts to go around. He'll pinball it out there off the wall, out there going out of 2. We'll keep things running, green flag conditions. Only 16 laps to go. Donnie Beach still to the race lead. Damon Gilbert to P2. Dana Ryan to P3. George Bark is now meat of the sandwich, running 3 wide. This might get a little tight going out of 4. They'll bang, leaning on each other. Dave Scott is now there as well. How about Dave? Going to use that slipstream, going to use that draft going back and up and into 1, but we'll go door to door for the race lead. David Gilbert, he's looking up top. Donnie Beach is out there about that apron line. It'll wash up the racetrack here in just a little bit. It's 2 drivers, I believe, with 2-tire differential out there between the 2. Damon Gilbert, he qualified on the pole. The race restarted back here this time by about 4th to 5th on back. Gilbert, door, corner, clear for the race lead. Here comes the rest of the pack in suits. Beach is there, Ryan is there, Bark is there. Bark, so is Compton. This time by 15 laps to go. Remember, we should still have one more stage break within this books. These drivers looking to rewrite the sim racing history books out here tonight on Stam Studio Network. You've tuned in here live. Sean Stam producing, directing, commentating this show. Dirty Air Racing Experience putting on that show. It starts to look 3 wide here once again out there between Jamie Shaw, Thomas Davis, and Dave Scott. That'll kind of stall out there with them as start to set up a little bit of single file out there racing back and into 3 and 4. You know, it's not single file, it's the battle for 3rd and 4th. That's Dana Rain looking inside. George Bark climbs the mountain up top. Excuse me, George Bark, he mines the mountain down low, and he's going to send it deep down there into pit lane. Don't get the speeding police now, as this is the money stop. George Bark in, Damon Gilbert in, Jamie Shaw in. What will their strategies be? 2, 4, or no tires with only 13 laps to go. Remember, we should still re-rack them and restack them, I do believe. I say that though, but I find that hard to believe, because that would really set up a kind of green-white checkered flag out finish out there. And now that we are on lap 93, that would only be in about 7 more laps time. We'll have to all keep an eye out there on it, as it's going to be George Bark, Damon Gilbert, Jamie Shaw, all splashes and dashes down on pit lane. Here comes battles once again. Dana Rain, Donnie Beach, and Brad Compton. 1, 2, 3, 13 laps to go. Compton, he's there. He's looking low. 3 wide down there, going back into 1. 3 wide, settles it back down this way to 2 wide. There you see Donnie Beach up top, and that is, oh man, it is loose up there, but Donnie Beach somehow able to make it happen. He's still door. He's still corner. Not quite clear just yet. Look at the run. At the 6, the 1, the 33. Compton, Ryan, as well as Davis will have out here into 3 and 4. They made the teamwork, make the dream work out there through the entrance of the corner and out the exit. It all belonged to Brad Compton. 12 coming to 11 laps to go this time by Donna Rain is in. Donnie Beach continues to stay out, as does Dave Scott. Here he comes, Donnie Beach trying to look out to, maybe will it be the inside, maybe it will be the outside. Aqua Fresh, he's getting that Aqua Fresh clean air plastered all over the front nose of his Chevrolet Silverado. Donnie Beach looks slow, nothing happening here just yet. He'll have to re-rack, he'll have to restack, he'll have to try to make something out here happen maybe through 3 and 4, but don't look now. Here comes Dave Scott. Dave Scott, the long run, the pace out there, that wide open iRacing, dirty air racing experience 75. It has been immaculate out here tonight. Dave Scott, he's rocking, he's rolling, trying to make something happen around there out of turn 4. Not close enough to do so. Real quick back and behind this battle with only 10 laps to go, go, go. TG Reese, John Miles, Ricky Miles, all suffering 2/3 of a second each and every single one of these packs. Careful, careful, dude. I think it's going to be, yeah, man, Joseph T. Sellinger III. How about the Tropicana Ford F-150? Joseph, he has kept his foot down tonight in spectacular fashion. 38 started P10 this race, excuse me, he started this race 19th and has worked his way up into P10, now looking P9, now looking P8, after he's working his way back down around that lower line of the racetrack. There's Ricky Miles up there right in front of him. The Rocket Man, who we hop on board with now, has a huge camera, a huge rear view mirror full of Joseph T. Sellinger III. Ricky Miles pedaling that throttle pedal through 2, trying to get some sort of front end rotation after almost making contact. It was Stephen Gill and John Miles up there right up in front of him. Here comes a little bit of side by side on our side. Here comes 9 laps to go in the race. Brad Compton, Donnie Beach, Dave Scott, 1, 2, 3. Not missing anything out there up front, except for this time by as Brad Compton leads the pack coming down to the pits. Johnny Beach, Dave Scott, Ashton Raymond is all there. This is money stop action right here, right now. Should see 0 tires. You should see splash and dash. If you miss your pit box by an inch, it is the end of your chances at a race win. You see Brad Compton as if it were on the money. He's down and on his box. Started 17th, currently running up and in P8 with what is battles for the race lead. Dave Scott, he is in. Donnie Beach, he is in. It's going to be right side tires up on quite a few of these drivers. Where does the strategy call all cycle out there with us with only 8 coming to 7 laps to go, go, go. We should still see about these top 5 to 6 drivers still head down pit lane. Joseph T. Sellinger III leading his first laps of the night. John Miles, he's running a little bit longer run strategy out here on his tank as well. Stephen Gill, remember the strategy call that he tried to make happen out there with him. Matter of fact, I think it's happening right there with him, but you can see these a little bit older tires out there. He's had to get out there, off and on the gas out there as well. He's trying to make all this late run speed out there happen, probably coming to pit lane within these next couple of laps time out there for Stephen Gill. John Miles, Ricky Miles the 5, John the 69, going at it for 2nd and 3rd, this time by Ricky Miles in pit lane. John Miles will stay out, as will Stephen Gill. 6 coming to 7 coming to 6 laps to go. Stephen Gill going at it there with John Miles is starting to set up some door-to-door action, but Joseph T. Sellinger still to the race lead. His last lap by was a 43.10. Joseph's last lap time was 2 seconds slower than what new tires is on one of these NASCAR Truck Series machines. Stephen Gill not able to close that gap out there though with him as Stephen Gill is running with a little bit older tire sets that they're on him. With what we have to watch right now, keep an eye on Damon Gilbert and George Bark, as this is ultimately the battle for the race lead, coming to 6 and 5 laps to go. Stephen Gill is in, John Miles is in, our race leader is in. Depending on how this all cycles out, this will be the battle for the race lead. Here's Damon Gilbert, here's George Bark. Look at the top right side of the screen as well. That's the track map. It's all going to depend on how fast Joseph T. Sellinger III, Stephen Gill, John Miles are able to make their way down and out of pit lane. on board here with George Marks, starting to close this gap for the battle for the race lead. 0.3 of a second separating first and second. Here comes that battle out there off of him. Stephen Gill just now making his way out of his box, and there goes Damon Gilbert. So that was the battle for the race lead, and I think that battle is in the Stam Studio Network iRacing history books now, because it's now just sit up between Gilbert and Bark. Bark now is just about still 0.3 of a second back. Can he do what they say can't be done? Can he slice? Can he dice? Well, I'll tell you, ladies and gents, right now, George Bark, he's got the fishing rod out, and he is hooked onto something. I think he's hooked onto that rear bumper of Damon Gilbert. He reels in, and Damon Gilbert, our race leader, by 1/10 of a second. It slots its way back into 0.005 of a second across the stripe, this time by. Here we go. Here's the last lap history between P1, P2. Look at all the green down there before Bark. 97, 98, 99, green, and then loses just 0.08 of a second. Lap 100. Here comes lap 101, though. 0.5 gained right back for Bark. We are getting out here into the finishing, we're getting out here into the nitty-gritty, into the finishing laps. Here comes George Bark, this time by only 1/10 of a second apart. He's going to try to maybe look down to the inside here within 3 and 4. Matter of fact, doesn't try to slide it down there and on him. George Bark maybe trying to save a little bit of tire temps, trying to save a little bit of tire pressures within our closing laps to go. Don't count out Brad Compton, as well as this battle out here from, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Raymond, Scott, Reese, Davis, all out there duking it out there as well. 3 laps to go from this one of my favorite truck track combos on the schedule. It's these NASCAR iRacing trucks going at it live from Fontana. It's AutoClub Speedway. Still 0.2 of a second separate Damon Gilbert and George Bark. Damon Gilbert coming to the 2-lap-to-go line, leading 14 laps out here tonight. George Bark leading 37. He's looking to get back out here into the race lead with only 3 more miles to go. 2 laps left in the bank. Oh, there's the 13. James Jepson is there, but not duking it out there for the battle for the race lead. Looking to get his way back up there on this lead lap. We'll run side by side. We'll side draft each other for the battle for second. Excuse me, this is really the battle for first. But remember, James Jepson, he is not within this battle necessarily. He is running right now 1 lap down. So it's Damon Gilbert leading out there, coming on the back straightaway, this time by 0.3 of a second. Still over George Bark. You still have Jamie Shaw, Dana Ryan going at it there for 4th, 5th, as well as Ashton Raymond, Dave Scott here as well. Coming out here within the final 2, if not 1 laps to go. Oh no, James Jepson hard contact with the wall. That might allow George Bark to get right here back up within this battle. It's the white flag will wave loud and proud. Damon Gilbert leads the pack into 1. George Bark is still there by 0.3 of a second back. Here comes Bark. He's going to try to bark and run that apron line as close as he can. Wash his way up on that race, that exit out of turn 2. Here comes the final run to the back straightaway for us tonight. Damon Gilbert, 38 laps led within the books, 39. This will be his 40th Stage 1 winner. Stage 2 winner, Damon Gilbert, looking out here to come in at turn number 4. 105 laps in the books from AutoClub Speedway. We're out here in Fontana, and on Stam Studio Network, Damon Gilbert's going to get it done by a 0.2 of a second gap over for Brad Compton. George Bark, he'll finish P3. Dana Ryan 4th. Jamie Shaw at the line 5th. A drag race between Davis and Ashton Raymond. That sets up 7th and 8th. They'll give it to Thomas Davis by 1/10 of a second. They'll spin across the line. John Miles, he'll come across the line in 12th position. Carlos Andrade 11th. You got Ricky Miles out there. There is P13. What a race out here tonight on Stam Studio Network, and it all belongs to Damon Gilbert, who we'll be chatting with in a few moments' time out here in virtual victory lane. The fireworks are in the air out there for the man, the myth, the legend. Congratulations, Damon Gilbert, as we should see him burn this puppy down, down, down. Congratulations, Damon Gilbert, on a sweep of the first few stages, as well as winning the whole dang race. Brad Compton, George Bark should be chatting with our top 3 drivers out here in just a few moments' time. Before we do that, though, here's our unofficial official race results out here for you on Stam Studio Network. What a race it was. I am still out of breath. Damon Gilbert to virtual victory lane. Brad Compton P2. George Bark P3. Dana Ryan P4. Jamie Shaw. Donnie Beach. It'll be Thomas Davis, Ashton Raymond, Dave Scott, and Chi G. Reese. That's the top 10. Carlos Andrade, John Miles, Ricky Miles, Stephen Gill. Joseph T. Sellinger III, James Jepson, Kevin Derritt, and Nathan Johnson running at the top 18. David Moyer, Devin Black, TJ Allen, Kyle Wellman, Michael Simmons, Chad Ashley, and Josh Say rounding out the top 25 drivers. Woo-wee, what a race it was, and believe I've caught up out here with Dana. All right, I got a few drivers out here to catch up with. Dana, first of all, hopefully I'm not butchering the name out there, and secondly, it's Sean up here in the booth. You got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great out there, Dana. Apologize out there for the driver intros out there for you, but hey, still a top 4 finish. What a race it was. Matt, can you walk us out there through kind of slice and dice and making it happen out there?
Yeah, it was a lot of good drivers in this field tonight. Especially, I mean, just about everybody in the top 10 was really racing really well together. Basically, it just come down to that last pit stop. I believe 2 cars short pitted, and I think that was just enough.
Yeah, man, you bring up the strategy, and yeah, it was 92, Damon Gilbert. He pit on that 92 and only 5 seconds down in pit lane. Also, Brad Compton pit a little bit later, 106, finishing P2. But I think for you, yeah, it was a little bit in between them. You pit on lap 94, and you spent 9 seconds on pit lane. So is that a 2-tire pit stop for you, Dana?
It was, yeah.
Gotcha.
I'd been taking 4 on under stage caution, and I was taking 2 in between. So I wasn't gonna, I really liked the way the truck felt on 2 tires. So we just stuck with that, and unfortunately, I think if we'd have took fuel only, we might have been battling there at the end. But I'm still a rookie.
Hey man, it's nothing to hang your head about there as well, because I think no matter what decision you made, you're probably going to bed thinking, well, what it could have been though. But in all seriousness though, I mean, I think that's a great finish out here for you. I think you ran the strategy just perfect, and like you said, the truck felt pretty good. There was I think there was once where I saw you. It was like middle of 3, started getting either real loose or real tight out there with them. But hey, it seemed to be on rails out here for you tonight, Dana. Is there anybody who'd like to kind of shout out or really appreciate here in this top 4 finish?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcast.
Woo-hoo.
And I've never personally watched your broadcast yet, but I'm going to go back and do it because I think this will be a good race to watch. So. Definitely thank you. Thank Dare, all the guys there for throwing this together. Of course, Black's Paint for the paint scheme. Just everybody that supports me, man. Tickled to death to come home 4th.
Hey, well said out there, Dana. Just make sure you skip it back. You skip past the driver introductions out there on the broadcast. And hey, once again, congrats on the P4. And hopefully we're chatting with you maybe next week's time out here, another Friday night race. Also, I will say, I think I'll give you a paint scheme of the race out here tonight. Man, that thing looks mean.
Good. That's what we're after.
Looking good out there, Dana. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully we're once again chatting with you next week's time. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, you too, buddy. Thanks.
Appreciate you, man.
Uh-huh.
All right, we got anybody? Yeah, of course, we got some more drivers out there with us. I believe we're going to chat with first. It's going to be our race winner, Damon Gilbert, driver of the 68 Chevrolet Silverado. Hey, how about you, Damon? Got yourself a copy, man?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, how about you tonight? You led some laps earlier on into the race, and then, well, coming to the checkered, you lead just the right amount of laps out there to come across the stripe out there. It's in your name out there, virtual victory lane. Damon, how'd you make it happen out here tonight? Even though you started on the pole, it was a lot harder than what that seemed.
Yeah. Race started off all right. I started on the pole, and then the first round of green flag stops, I completely ran out of talent and just self-spun going in the pit road. So the rest of the day was battling from the back all the way back up to the front. And the runs are so short that you can only make up a couple positions, and then you gotta pit again. So just stuck it out and just kept playing the strategy right. Every like round of green flag stops, I'd gained like 3 or 4 spots back, and then final run there, we had some strategy calls there and got it done.
Well, Damon, I'm glad that you bring up those strategy calls and the runs being so short. I was running a race out here within this wide open Dirty Air Racing Experience hosted race last night, and it, you know, same sort of strategy calls where you run about 38% fuel. And I'm glad that you kind of touched there on that, because it does kind of set up here throughout your whole run, I guess you'd call it. Being that you only spent 5.3 seconds down a pit lane, your last pit stop, I'm taking that was only a fuel only stop out there for you.
Yeah, fuel only on the last one. You know, I did a fuel only on like the second stop to see like what the overall gain was, and I realized that it was like very close. It was gonna be within like 0.3 is what I calculated. So I was pretty positive I had a tire advantage on the other guy before the final stop. So I knew I needed to at least have two or three green flag laps. Like once I took fuel only, that I could probably stretch him out enough.
Well, we appreciate you breaking it down there for us, Damon. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to for and your time out here in virtual victory lane, man?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for putting this on. My teammate George Bark right there running it up third. And yeah, that's it.
Well, Damon, that goes a long ways back in behind the scenes. I really appreciate that. And speaking of George, I believe I've caught up out there with him, and also virtual top 3 lane. George, you got stuff for copy?
Hey man, what's up?
Hey man, George, I guess you guys are up right now. Man, nice congratulations, top 3 finish for you. Golly, how about it here tonight? We saw 1, 2, 3, 4 wide racing, George. Also saw you leading in quite a few laps as well. What was it like in your perspective back and behind the wheel of that number 54?
Just rode around till the end. I mean, I really can only do so much with the short fuel, so me and Damon tried some stuff there, and that yellow that came out there in the stage 4, I guess you can call it, just happened to like be at the right time for us to make that last call, and you know, did all right.
Well, George, I'm going to ask you what I asked Dave Scott in the middle of the race during a driver interview. Is how much did that really feel, the difference of clean air versus dirty air all over the front nose of your Toyota Tundra?
To me, it's like 50-50. I think it depends on your tire burn. So like if you go hard in clean air and then you get past, like it could be hateful. So like there at the end when I was just riding behind Damon, like it was kind of hateful. I mean, we didn't take tires, but like clean air was definitely the advantage on no tires. Or really clean air was the advantage, period. Let's just say that out loud.
Well, George, this is one of my favorite truck track combos out here on the schedule, and you guys did an immaculate job out there putting on a show for us all the way till the end of the race. Can't hang your head too much on the top 3 finish, George. Is there anybody who you'd like to thank or shout out here in this podium world?
Well, shout out to you. Thanks for doing a broadcast, and Dare for putting on a race tonight, you know, when we had nothing else better to do. And my buddy Damon, you know, for doing this ride with me.
Well, George, we really appreciate that back here on SSN land, as well as out here at Dirty Air Racing Experience. And congratulations to you, Damon and George, both of you. The top 3 finish, Damon with the win and George B3. Hopefully we're chatting with you 1 week's time out here back in the top 3 driver interview booth. Thanks, George.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, everybody. I believe that's going to do it out here tonight for us on the old STAM Studio Network. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart joining in on this broadcast. Our sponsors and affiliates in the top right side of the screen, as well as, yes, if you're still out there with you, I'm seeing the YouTube land, Moonlight Dancer. What a finish. Congrats to the podium winners, as well as Ricardo Keno and Ted Wilbur. Thank you all so much once again from the bottom of my heart. And if you haven't caught too much of me here just yet, I'll be live tomorrow about around midday for the a little bit later midday for the International Racers Pro-Am Series, coming at you live for a memorial race from the Portland International Raceway. Thank you all so much. Sean Stam out here on Stam Studio Network. Thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing this broadcast. Until next Friday night,